was watching our good friend Dave Poolin on either insider trading or one of these things that TSN has. And he said the exact same thing that I said last week about this constructive overpay this guy, unless I've completely read the situation wrong, which I know I haven't, is a heart and soul player. He said future captain material. So unless something's changed since Friday.
Colin, you tell me, are they putting the C on Brady Tkachuk tonight? They don't necessarily have to. I think we all know he's going to be. And let me just say this, Darren. I mean, look at what Mitch Marner's got. Is he captain material? I don't think so. You're paying for skill there. I would rather overpay on my goalies and my heart and soul guys that are good players, not role players. And I think I'd be a winning general manager. Where do you want to put your money as an NHL GM?
That's, you know what, and that's what you can do as an NHL general manager. You get to choose what's important to you, what you value. Everybody values something differently, and that's what makes it so much fun to sit back and build hockey teams is, do you value a strong back end, or you want to put all your money in your top 6 forwards? Do you want to have balance throughout the lineup, right? I don't think you can go wrong by paying leaders and making sure you have good leaders. Your heart and soul guys who create culture. I think, you know, Brady Tkachuk's a kid in Ottawa who's going to create the culture of that team. And if you like what he brings, if you like that Brady Tkachuk culture, then you got to pay for it.
Get ready for the Rod Peterson Show.
So that's the thing. People wondering where we're going, what we're doing. We had the invitation to come to Calgary and bring the show. Now we've got the invitation to go to Saskatoon, and that's what we'll be doing on Friday on a Flame Tech Football Friday. Mike Babcock will be on Darren's microphone. Scott Flory in hour 2. A couple Huskies sports coaches joining us live from Saskatoon for a Flame Tech Football Friday. It's going to be fantastic.
This is the Rod Peterson Show.
Here we are, and we are live from beautiful Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Saskatoon shines. And we're coming to you from the Merlis Belsher Place, home of the men's and women's hockey programs. And Griffith Stadium just across the way. We've got the Moose with us here on this Flame Tech Football Friday on one of our biggest days, Moose, we've ever had on the Rod Peterson Show. We're live across North America on Game Plus Television, plus YouTube and Facebook. And holy smokes, this is your town. We were driving around here last night. He came and picked me up at Saskatoon International Airport. I'm like, are you happy to be back here, Moose? And you just beamed how happy you were to be back in the Bridge City.
Yeah, I love it in this place. It is such a great city, and I miss it every day. And it's nothing, you know, to take away from how great Regina's been and what a wonderful sports community that is. But this city is the culture, the art. It's a beautiful city. The people are wonderful. And, you know, I got my start in this business in Rosetown, Kindersley back in 06, but I really got it restarted here. Tara Hall and Basil Houghton and that whole group. It was awesome.
You went to the U of S not for a long time, but for a good time. Let's put it out there. Yes,
it was a great
exactly.
Time.
And listen, when I say one of the biggest shows, we have some contests that we're running today that I'm going to bring you back in hour 2. Maybe you can talk a little more about for BetRegal, our good friends, our exclusive betting partner. DirectWest is joining us, and they are going to make a big announcement, a big unveiling here today. One of our biggest partners, along with Jeff Shattler of the Saskatchewan Rush. Mike Babcock, men's hockey coach here at the U of S, is going to be with us. Scott Flory, the Canadian Football Hall of Famer, head coach of the Huskies football program, is going to be here right on the set at Merlis Belsher. And let me just say this before I get into the quick six show topic. I sent up the bat signal on the weekend, last weekend, and a lot of teams responded, right? And Husky Athletics were one. And they said, well, come on up here and do your show. As a matter of fact, we got a huge weekend against the University of Regina. They're in town for men's hockey Friday night, football on Saturday, women's hockey Saturday night, and women's soccer on Sunday afternoon. All here at the U of S.
Jam-packed. And a lot of it is that provincial rivalry, too. So it's cool.
Yes.
Happy to be here.
Director Jordan is back home flying the Millennium Falcon, and I asked him to hit the quick six show horn, please. Rolling, thank you, on a Flame Tech Football Friday. Well, I'm going to start with hockey, even though it's Flame Tech Football Friday, because I said on yesterday's show from Calgary that everybody only wanted to talk about Thursday night's game. So let's talk about Thursday night's games, and then I'll get into your assessment of what went on a wild night. And I don't know if I should go through all these. I mean, I can. Logan Couture and Kevin LeBlanc scored in the second period. Ottawa lost 2-1 to the San Jose Sharks. Daniel Sprong set up Washington's first goal, scored on a second period breakaway in the middle frame, and the winner, the Capitals, beat New Jersey 4-1. Patrick Laine scored at 1:49 of overtime to lift Columbus past the Islanders 3-2. Alexis Lafreniere scored with 9:07 remaining in the third to lift the Rangers past Nashville 3-1. Jason Dickinson, Tanner Pearson, and Brock Besser scored their first goals of the season to help Vancouver beat winless Chicago 4-1. Is Jeremy Colleton the first coach fired in the NHL?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thought so. Sam Bennett scored the go-ahead goal. Sergei Bobrovsky earned his 300th NHL victory, and Florida beat Colorado 4-1 to remain undefeated. The Panthers at 4-0 are off to their best start in franchise history. How about that? Kyle Connor scored twice and added an assist with regular line mates Blake Wheeler and Mark Scheifele in COVID-19 protocol, and Winnipeg beat Anaheim 5-1 for its first victory of the season. We love you, Winnipeg, but don't look at us in Saskatchewan saying we can't count. You saw the Kyle Connor news conference afterwards.
Oh,
The ice was littered with hats. He only scored 2 goals. You think we can't count in Saskatchewan? Come on,
That's
Winnipeg.
right.
And Jacob Markstrom made 33 saves for his 9th career NHL shutout in Calgary's 3-0 victory over Detroit. And I don't know how much you were on the highway, so I don't know if you were listening to that broadcast or not, but those Sutter Flames, Milan Lucic beat up that Detroit guy in the first
a
period.
little punchy.
So maybe they got something going there. So your thoughts on Thursday night in the National Hockey League? We got here last night and we went to Shoeless Joe's to watch the end of the Oilers game. By the way, Rick Tocchet got those Coyotes in the playoffs just 2 years ago, okay, and then got fired. I'm just putting that out there. That franchise. And he's not even coaching anywhere right now. I think he's on TV. So we watched that order. The Coyotes aren't just losing, they're getting killed.
Yeah. And it's not a good situation in Arizona. Now, Edmonton's a really good hockey team.
Yep.
I got to watch the tail end of that game. They're a really good hockey team. And to pick up another win, move to 4-0. We talked a lot about the Ottawa and San Jose game last night and how San Jose's probably more pressure to win now. Well, they did. But I think they only had 4 shots in the third period. Ottawa put some pressure on late in that game. And did Cole Sillinger not get his first last night?
He absolutely did. How silly.
So pretty great night of hockey to try and bounce around and follow all of the
Great
games.
friend of the program. And speaking of friends of the program, Bob Merrier, sober coach to the Stars, has sent a message and he says, "Good morning from Santa Monica, California." Morning, Bobby. We got to talk about your Habs now, don't we? We got to talk about your Habs. And they have not won yet. And the Brendan Gallagher disallowed goal last night. I mentioned licorice legs. Bob was in the room when that term came up.
Oh, yeah.
The first time in Montreal. Licorice legs, just Barry Kotkaniemi scoring for Montreal. The Brendan Gallagher disallowed goal. I'm with you on that one, but did it cost them the game? No.
No, in the end, it didn't. Kotkaniemi scoring, for Carolina against his former team. I mean, that's poetic stuff. The Gallagher disallowed goal is tough. Was he in the crease? Sure, maybe, just. And I guess that's the rule, and they're trying to crack down on this. Paul Bissonnette, who's been on this show, talked about on Twitter, this is like roughing the passer now in the NFL. You lay a finger on, and they're out. Well, we got to protect the Stars. We got to protect the goaltenders in the National Hockey League. But no, that was a really tough one, and a lot of people around the NHL don't understand why that one was disallowed.
Well, you know what? It's still only a little over a week old, but the pressure's on, obviously, in Montreal. I just texted you back, Bobby.
Good, and Bob is making it like a point to not be in Montreal at this point.
Right,
either.
Bob, let's become Panthers fans. They're 4-0. Now's the time. Hashtag, yeah, Bob's your uncle. Hashtag one territory, man. The Panthers are where it's at. I'll see you at FLA Live Arena next month. Anyways, it is a Flame Tech Football Friday. Flame Tech's locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. And this is the warm-up for E-Cola Electric. Our annual fall promotion sale is on now with special pricing on hundreds of in-stock items. E-Cola Electric, let's get to work. Did I mention Damon Allan's coming up later on? He is the CFL ambassador for BetRegal.net. So we're going to be talking with Damon a little later. Thursday night football, this is only point 2 of the quick 6. Cleveland's Case Keenum threw for 199 yards and a touchdown. Dearness Johnson rushed for 146 yards. And the Browns beat the Denver Broncos 17-14 on Thursday night football. Denver quarterback Teddy Bridgewater threw a pair of touchdown passes, gutted it out while playing with foot and quadricep injuries. He finished 23 of 33 for 187 yards with 1 pick. The Broncos have lost 4 in a row. I want to mention Canada West weekend. That's my third point, but we kind of just mentioned it off the top here, and that is that the U of S Huskies are home tonight in men's hockey to the University of Regina, right here at Merlis Belsher Place. By the way, our man Ken's, we have a live studio audience. Can you make some noise, Ken? Can you make a hey? Hey! Morgan, too. Yeah, she's not going to be as
the
loud.
golf clap.
Yeah. We went to the big board, and I said, what's Merlis Belsher famous for? The guy whose name is on this rink. You guys all discerned and looked up. For being rich. And he's U of S alum, too, right?
Very successful.
Very successful businessman, a lawyer. So here at Merlis Belsher Place, it's men's and women's hockey this weekend, U of S, U of R. And then Rams Huskies. I'm telling you, people are really getting into it. My phone's going off. Are you staying for the game? Well, of course I'm staying for the game. That's Texas 10-4. And then they're like, you want to go for supper after the game? Yeah, sure, why not? And then we'll be going somewhere to watch the Riders and the Stampeders. It's fall. It's football. It's Canada. Pretty awesome.
It's going to be great.
But it's damn cold. Can I say that?
I know, right? Like, I picked him up at the airport. Let's remember.
Oh, it's freezing.
He'd been in Florida. Now, Calgary's not so bad, but they probably had a Chinook in there for the last few days. And it was minus, 3? Yeah, it felt like minus 40 to you coming out of the airport.
I was freezing. I wasn't even wearing shorts. My blood is that thin now. Come on. It reminds me of my old friend Phil, the Zamboni driver at the Agrodome in Regina. I used to walk around and go, Phil, can you turn up the heat in this place? And he'd go, it's a hockey rink, not a shopping mall.
How about that?
I'm thinking, as I said to Ken here earlier, the ice must be pristine in this facility.
Oh, yeah.
With how cold it is. So let's pack the joint. This is, by the way, Mike Babcock's first game, hey?
It will be,
yeah.
The Canada West hockey schedule started last week, but the Huskies had the bye week because now there's 9 teams. Trinity Western's in, McEwen's in. It's grown. So the Huskies had the bye week in week 1, which, I mean, you don't really like to see that at the beginning, but they're here now, and number 2 ranked team in the country.
We're doing great things here in the warm-up for E-Cola Electric. We're covering a lot of ground. Baseball, the Dodgers have survived yet another elimination game. Chris Taylor hit 3 home runs, joining Dodgers all-time low. He drove in 6 runs in all as L.A. broke loose at the plate to beat Atlanta 11-2 in the NLCS. A.J. Pollock had 2 home runs and 4 RBIs for the Dodgers, who have won 7 straight postseason elimination games dating to last season. The Dodgers still failed the Braves 3-2 in the series. I see our first guest is, hey, Coach. No, you're good. You got about 5 minutes. You're good. Coach Flory. Story about him, of course. He says, you guys, I got to get a helmet for your desk. So Moose and I jumped in the car, drove all the way up here last winter. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Flory comes out of his office. He goes, you drove all the way here to get a helmet? We're like, what else are we going to do? We have nothing else to do.
It was literally a Saturday, and we just, we strategic planning in the car for 5 hours, and away we go.
Yeah, it was awesome. And Coach Flory will be here momentarily. It is a Flame Tech Football Friday. Week 12 in the Canadian Football League kicks off tonight. We talked a little bit about it yesterday from Calgary. We'll talk a little bit more about it today. It's the Argonauts at the Alouettes. Toronto at Montreal. This could be the game of the week. This could be Canada's game of the week if you think about it. Yeah. And they do love CFL football in Eastern Canada. Each team's won 3 games in a row. First place is on the line in the East. The Argos go win 6-3. Montreal's 5-4. It's a 7:30 Eastern kickoff. And then on Saturday, it's a triple header. Ball for all in the Canadian Football League. Your thoughts on tonight's game? Matthew Schultz versus Macbeth.
I like that. Can we put that on the Schultz Creek that you dropped yesterday? I still can't believe I'm thinking about that.
Eugene Levy should be kicking off the football tonight.
That would be awesome. But anyways, it's going to be a great game. We'll find out a little bit more of a litmus test for Montreal. We know Toronto's kind of established themselves in the East, and McLeod Bethel Thompson's established himself as the quarterback for the Argonauts. But this is more of a test for Montreal to see where they're at. And for Schultz, I mean, right, they just traded for Trevor Harris. So it's another audition for the young quarterback in Montreal, too.
Schultz Creek.
Schultz Creek.
Why do I have to think of everything?
What you do?
DG in Saskatoon writes in on the Prairie Mobile text line, says, morning, guys. The location looks awesome within arm's length of where my Huskies hockey season tickets are. I still can't get over the news from last night's NFL game about Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield from this past Sunday. His shoulder was so damaged that he tore his labrum and broke his arm bone at the shoulder. What an incredible pain tolerance to go back in and play in that game. DG in Saskatoon. Well, I think we all like Baker Mayfield going back to his Oklahoma days. None of that surprises me. And if we want to sit around and talk about all-time pain tolerance stories in sports, I got a million. Flory could tell a few.
I was going to say, he's probably got a few of those stories, too.
I can't believe we're winding this up so well. Point 6 is the last one, NFL Week 7. I'm probably going to take it off because the best team in the National Football League, the Dallas Cowboys, have a bye. Coach McCarthy is optimistic that Dakota Prescott will be available for Week 8, so we're not too worried with that right calf strain. Your Titans, I wrote it down. They've got the Kansas City Chiefs. How are we feeling about this one in Nashville?
Good and bad. Take the over. Go to BetRegal and just hammer the over with as much money as you can find. Don't actually empty your bank account. I would never advise anybody to be that risky. But go to the free play and put all your 1,000 free points on it, because Kansas City's offense is so good and Tennessee's secondary is not. So it's going to be tough. But Kansas City's defense is really bad, too. Derrick Henry could put up 200 yards on the ground this weekend. And
is that your bet?
That I would...
That'd be a good
whatever the over-under is on his rushing yards, take the over.
I'm so glad that you brought that up. And Morgan will applaud this. She's sitting over there. The brains of the whole outfit. This BetRegal thing. You have the details, right? I don't want to say too much.
No, it's going to be a Build Your Bankroll Challenge coming up in November. A chance for everybody watching and all of our viewers and listeners across North America to get in on this and win some great prizes, which will include 2 tickets to the Grey Cup, some swag, a few other things. All you need to do is sign up at the BetRegal Free Play Sportsbook. We're going to have the links coming. Everything will be available next week at rodpeterson.com. It'll start November 1st, and it's free to enter.
Yeah, so we're basically saying don't do it yet. Although if you want to sign up for the free sports, you can.
Oh, yeah.
Do that now at betregal.net. But this is a contest to win 2 tickets to the Grey Cup in Hamilton in December through our friends at betregal.net, the exclusive betting partner of the Rod Peterson Show, and the Canadian Football League. We covered it all. Nice and tidy, Moose. I'll see you back, in an hour?
Yeah, about then.
Okay. Scott Flory, the Hall of Fame head coach of the U of S Huskies men's football program, joins us next. Mike Babcock on the way as well. And they tell me here, he hasn't changed. Babs. He's still very intense. I'm looking forward to that interview. All coming up. You're watching the RP Show live from the University of Saskatchewan. Merlis Belsher Place on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Peterson Show.
It's a huge Husky athletics weekend beginning here tonight at Merlis Belsher Place. Mike Babcock makes his Canada West coaching, not debut, I guess. He coached the Lethbridge Pronghorns before, but his first for the U of S Huskies tonight. The U of R Rams are here. Mike Babcock will be with us at our broadcast location coming up in hour 2. And then on Saturday, it's the women's hockey team home, U of S Huskies to the U of R Cougars. U of R Rams are here for Canada West football Saturday afternoon in Griffiths. We'll be here for the game. And then Sunday, it is women's soccer, Saskatchewan and Regina. So Scott Flory joins us. A Regina guy, I might throw in. Right, Coach?
The bold is proud.
It's been
Absolutely.
a long time. Yeah, I know. Scott Flory, the Canadian Football Hall of Famer, multiple Grey Cup champion of the Montreal Alouettes. Wow, this is a big one. This is the 11th time in history that the Rams and Huskies will meet as nationally ranked top 10 team. How are the boys feeling?
That's a lot to process there.
I know. You never even thought about it.
No, way more than 11 times, though, I'm assuming, over the 20-some years. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. You know, I think everybody's still kind of feeling it out coming out of COVID, man, to be honest with you. I think, you know, everybody's trying to find their way a little bit, learning more about themselves and the process and everything. And, yeah, I think that we're learning about ourselves too. They're a good team. It's going to be a really good game. I'm really looking forward to it.
But here's the see, you say that it's a 6-game season. So how long do you have to figure out who you are? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's got to come quickly. You don't have time to dwell and to take, you know, multiple weeks to be able to overcome adversity or mistakes or anything like that. So yeah, it's got to be a, you know, I don't know if it's a steep or slow curve or whatever the curve is. We've got to be able to overcome that stuff. And I think that, you know, if you look just in the growth and from a progress from week 1 for us, you know, that first game in Calgary, I think that just for us, these last couple of weeks have been more about who we are, and we're continuing to try to find out who we are. But I think we're much further along the path than we were in week 1.
Yeah.
As we continue to move forward.
I just want to back up for a sec. Big picture here. I was telling the story when you said, guys, I got this helmet for you. So DuPont and I drove all the way up from the Queen City to get it. And you're like, you drove all the way here to get a helmet. Like, we had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And you went and showed us the field. And I'm like, Scott, how confident are you that there's even going to be a season? And you were like, oh, we're playing. Yeah. Why were you so confident at that time?
I just think that at some point, right, you got to move forward, and we are, and I mean, we're doing it safely in the proper way, and some could argue too fast, some could argue too slow. I mean, somewhere in the middle, usually the truth there lies. But the reality is that for us and for our guys, and we're grateful for the opportunity, but we have to. I think that at some point we've got to do it wisely and do it smartly. But we are moving forward, and I was just really confident at the time, even a year ago. I'm like, it just has to happen. We can't sit in a quagmire for too long with anything, and whatever that quagmire may be. So I'm happy. I really am. I'm happy. Shortened schedule, all that kind of stuff. It's a cold year. We don't start till the end of September. So I mean, we're in week 4, and it's winter's here. So but yeah, we'll take it any way we can get it.
And so please tell me how your players have dealt with it. I can't imagine. That I've got friendships with their parents. That's how old we are now, Scott. But it hasn't been easy on them, but they've done it all across this country. University athletes. But just talk about your program.
Yeah, no, for our guys specifically, it was, I think I felt last fall, right, there's this real high. We got back, we were practicing, we were doing stuff, and then it, the reality of we're not playing games set in. And this year, and everybody's just kind of sitting in that, we weren't too sure, but very hopeful. We move ahead, we're preparing in the summer, and then we felt at training camp, the start of training camp, and then it kind of leveled off. And then when we started playing games again, is that you can feel that edge pick up again. And it's like, okay, this is back to normal. We're riding the bike again. We've taken a few years off, but we're riding the bike again. And again, for us, it's starting to figure out all the nuances of how we do that well.
I'm going to take you through this season for the Huskies leading up to this huge crescendo, which is the Saturday afternoon game, Regina, Saskatchewan, here at Griffith Stadium. But you go into Calgary and lose, we're all kind of shocked. Then you go into UBC and win. And then back here last weekend, you kind of blew the doors off Manitoba, wasn't it? Alberta. So you're getting better, obviously.
Yeah. And again, it's just part of that process. But let's not make Saturday more than what it is. It's week 4, right? Okay. So let's all understand that. But we also understand that, we only had the Rams play provincial rivals once in 2019 and then once again this year. So because of the shortened schedule, our 2 games are with Calgary. So but yeah, I mean, like our rosters aren't, they're well familiar to each staff. We know the staffs. We know what we're going to get. It just comes down to one of those execution standpoint. They're going to have a play here. There's going to be, I'm sure there's going to be attempts to do things on both sides. But at the end of it, you got to line up and play. And the team that can better line up and play when you take all that emotion, you take all that stuff away from it, is the team that's going to be the victor at the end of the game.
Okay. Yes, but Scott, I've known you a long time. I look in your eyes and I trust what you're saying. But come on, it's Rams and Huskies. There was a brawl at the pregame intros not that long.
There's a ton of emotion, man. There is. There's lots of feelings and emotions, and guys. We've got guys from Regina. I'm sure they got guys from Saskatoon. Right? All that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's that's part of the deal, and it just. But it is just week 4. Let's understand that, But of course, there's a heightened sense of it. Nobody wants to lose this game for sure, and we don't want to lose ever at home at Griffiths. I mean, it's our house.
Right. But the reason I bring that up is, are you trying to temper expectations of your guys so that the moment doesn't become too big?
No, I'm being real with them. Yeah. Like we have to respect everybody we play, and I don't care who we're playing. We've got to respect them because they deserve their respect. And if we don't, then we're not being true to the game. We're not being true to our teammates. We're not, so we have to. I think every competitor has to, right? But also, we've got to also understand that we play to our standard and we do our thing. So it's not about the opponent, whoever we're playing. Was it U of A last week or in UBC 2 weeks ago? We played our standard. The part for me is like, we got to make sure we finish and we do all those things from a football standpoint. But from a standards, we've got, I'm not a big rules guy. Standards, and let's play to our standard.
Yeah, well, this place will be jammed. Griffith Stadium Saturday afternoon on Canada West TV, which is available on SaskTel Max Cable and all through Western Canada and TELUS Optic TV as well. I got to ask you this, and then we'll just go to some CFL questions here too and other Canadian football. But Nelson Lacombo, the last time we talked, I mentioned how are you going to overcome the loss of him, and now you're 3 games. This is a guy, number 2 overall pick in the CFL draft last year, Vancouver kid, right?
Yep.
But is drafted by the Rough Riders, popped his Achilles in training camp, hasn't played all year. But How have you overcome that? He's a game-changing defensive player.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it. Kind of eliminated a half of the field, when he's out there. Just people didn't want to throw that way. And but you know what? I think there's a couple ways you can look at it. The program, everything has got to move forward. But it's opportunity for other guys. I mean, we've got a lot of guys that have been waiting and developing and practicing, and it's time for them to be able to have their opportunity to play. So that's the way I look at it. I don't get caught up in, trying to keep and retain and all that kind of stuff with guys. When they have opportunities to move on and to be better and to go to pro ball, man, I'm all in. I'm trying to get them there. I was fortunate benefactor of that too, and I wouldn't want anybody holding me back. So I want nothing but the best for those guys. And then we've just got to have, we lost 2 to the CFL, right? With Hags as well, with Josh Haggerty.
And
so
he's doing good things.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's one of those where I want to make sure that these guys are moving forward, and it's next man up. And that's my job as running the program, to make sure that we have next guy up.
Yeah. Another Regina kid I might throw in there. It's RMF will appreciate the plug. But you mentioned with the Argos there with Haggerty, they are in Montreal tonight. Do you watch those games in McGill? And my mind goes back to the day. Is yours?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good memories.
Yeah.
I mean, I played there 15 years and lived in Montreal. I mean, it's just a great city. So, yeah, obviously in my heart it's my alma mater, my only team in the CFL I played for. So, for sure, I mean, they're, it can be critical and all that kind of stuff, but it just goes back to a lot of good feelings, a lot of good memories of my time there, and maybe a little bit of the golden era of football in Quebec there in the 2000s. And, it's a lot of fun to watch those games now as a spectator.
What would you say was the best Montreal?
Oh, man. I'll say that our 3 Grey Cups were so different. Our first one in 2002, we were like, I've said it before, like a band of misfits. And we had average age like 24 years old. We were so young. And, AC was just coming into his own. Our O-line was relatively young. Cahoon and Copeland and all these guys were just kind of at the start of the career. Anwar Stewart, guys like that, and Strick. And so we were just like kind of a young,
didn't know what you were in.
No, yeah, and then I look at the later ones in 9 and 10, and we were so veteran laden, and it was so focused that it was such a different dynamic with those 2 teams, 2 types of teams anyway, but effective nonetheless.
Yeah, so you can't pick one, eh? I was gonna say 2002.
Yeah, I think that a lot of that team from 2002 really came into their own from that game forward. But 9 and 10, if you just look at just the Hall of Fame guys that are on those rosters, I mean, you just think about, we had Andrew Hawkins on our team, who went on to play 7 years in the NFL, and he wasn't even a starter with us in 2009 because of SJ, because of Jamel Richardson, because of Cahoon, because of Kerry Watkins. I mean, it was just loaded with talent. So I look at that team too, and it's like, but you go back to 2002, and 2001 Grey Cup, we lost. We had 4 to 5 or Hall of Fame offensive linemen on that squad too. So just different phases of their careers.
We all have mentors. Those guys when you sit back, or gals, and you hear their voice or you see their face. My dad, of course, and various broadcast people and sports people. You had Don Matthews, Jim Pop, coach for a time.
Yeah.
I love Jim. Tressman. Which one are those guys? Do all of them echo in your mind? Or
No, absolutely. I think the 2, from a player and coaching standpoint, the 2 biggest influences were those 2 that I had the longest in the CFL were Don Matthews and then Mark Tressman. Mark is still a good friend of mine. I mean, he helped me get this job here as a reference for me. So right? Yeah, like Mark's, I got so much respect, and he is such a great guy and great mentor and everything. And then Don, but 2 totally different styles. Night and day,
people,
right?
And different people.
And people. Oh, yeah. But effective, right? So there's a lot of ways that you can get things done, and there's a lot of ways that you can win football games and run a team and all that kind of stuff. But it's just about the people. Both those guys were outstanding men and an absolute pleasure to play for.
Well, I'm sure you get asked a lot about coaching in pro, and what I think people need to understand is a U Sports head coaching job is great. I can tell how much you love it.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I also know the path to your success and anybody's is one play at a time. I'm sure you're just focusing on what you're doing, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, listen, as a head coach in university football, I get to be head coach, GM, director of player personnel. I'm also the budget guy and all that. But so you wear a lot of hats, but it's also the fact that you get to put your stamp on things because you get to be the final say on all those kind of, you got great help and support, and I wouldn't be able to do it, obviously, without everybody from the athletic department, coaches, all that stuff. But it's a different environment. Whereas in the CFL, you know, it's kind of that transient lifestyle. It's kind of that, you know, you're in and you're out. You don't necessarily get that developmental relation that you do with the young men that we do at the university. I don't really, not that I don't love recruiting, but I love the development. I love finding talent. I love being able to do that kind of stuff. I got a young family. I'm so happy where I'm at, and I just love being here. I'm just blessed.
It's very evident.
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, so I'm Rams alumni, so I don't know what to tell you about.
It's okay. We all make mistakes, Rod. It's okay.
What will decide the game on Saturday, dude?
I don't think will be an issue. I mean, both teams got to play in it, so I just hope it's a clean surface here. You got some drilling going on in the background, but we'll fight through adversity. You know, it's the way it goes. But the difference will be, I just think how limiting mistakes, and that's usually what happens in games and sport and big games, and turnovers are such a huge impact in football. I mean, we're sitting in a hockey rink. They turn the puck over like every play. Yeah, like 150 times a game, right? So they learn how to deal with that adversity and all that kind of stuff. For us, it's just much more importance on that. And we've been pretty good, knock on wood, being able to control games and turnovers and limiting those mistakes. And we've got to continue to grow on that. So the team that can limit mistakes and then capitalize opportunity. And I think if you look at the Rams as a team in their 3 games, they've been great at that, getting those opportunities and being able to capitalize that and turn those things into points, and we've got to be able to do that from our end on Saturday.
I can't wait for the game. We'll be here for it, Coach. Thanks for all you do for us, and good luck. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Ron. Pleasure.
Scott Flory, the U of S Huskies football program head coach. We'll be back with Damon Allan on video chat right after this. You're watching the RP Show live from the U of S campus on Game Plus Television Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special.
Holy, it's pretty impressive.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues live from the University of Saskatchewan campus. We're at Merlis Belsher Place, the home of the men's and women's hockey programs. Men's hockey coach Mike Babcock will be with us here, right at our studio set up in hour 2. Pleased to be just joined by Scott Flory, the Hall of Fame head coach of the Husky men's program. And we're going to continue this Flame Tech Football Friday. Flame Tech, by the way, locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology based right here in Saskatoon. As we welcome in Hall of Famer, the legend, Damon Allan, the CFL Ambassador for BetRegal.net, joining us from, if I can get a look here, looks like his home in Toronto. How you doing, DA? Has he got us? Clark is telling me to hold on. We haven't had an issue like this in some time. Yeah, we're working on it. My 4 favorite words in broadcasting. Well, we had Damon. Obviously, he couldn't necessarily hear us. But BetRegal.net has Damon as a CFL ambassador along with Matt Dunnigan, and DA is going to talk to us a little bit about that. Week 12 in the CFL kicked off tonight with the Toronto Argonauts 6-3 at the Montreal Alouettes 5-4. It's a 7:30 Eastern kickoff on TSN. And then Saturday, it is a CFL triple header culminating with the Saskatchewan Roughriders at the Calgary Stampeders, but it gets good rolling first at, I think it's 4 p.m. Eastern, with the Ottawa Red Blacks at the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The middle game is the BC Lions at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And then, as mentioned, 7:45 Mountain, 9:45 Eastern, Saskatchewan Roughriders at the Calgary Stampeders. And we're going to talk about that game at some point here. I'm kind of going back and forth. The Roughriders favored by a point. Was that what it was at BetRegal.net? I got to check the line on that. Guys, what's happening with Damon? Am I launching into a sports update here now? Okay, they're telling me it'll be a couple minutes. So we'll get our sports update read now. The Toronto Maple Leafs return to the ice tonight, hosting the surging San Jose Sharks at Scotiabank Arena. The Sharks are undefeated to start the season with all 3 victories against Canadian teams. Toronto is 2-1-1 on the year and coming off a 2-1 OT loss to the New York Rangers back on Monday. Connor McDavid collected his 200th NHL goal as the Oilers rolled the Coyotes 5-1 in Arizona last night. Edmonton Star center scored twice and had an assist in the victory, while Zach Hyman added both a shorthanded marker and a power play tally. The Oilers will be back in action tonight when they visit Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights, at T-Mobile Arena. Should be a dandy. We won't be watching it, though. Moose and I, he's standing just behind the camera because we'll be broadcasting the Saskatoon Blades at the Regina Pats on regional television here in Western Canada. The Raptors are in Boston for their first road game of the season after dropping the season opener to the Washington Wizards in Toronto on Wednesday. The Celts are 1-0 after beating the Knicks in double overtime the same night. We mentioned the CFL game, so we'll move on to baseball. It's winner go home for the Boston Red Sox. Houston leads Boston 3-2 heading into Game 6 of the ALCS with a trip to the World Series on the line. Rookie Luis Garcia will get the start for the Astros, and righty Nathan Eovaldi is on the mound for the Red Sox, and that is a 6:08 Mountain first pitch, 8:08 Eastern. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games. Book your group or Christmas party now at Ballers Rec Room. for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, where you'll never need to ask to get the CFL game put on. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. What's the DA situation, guys? Yeah, still trying to get a hold of Damon Allan. So I'll read some viewer comments here as I just loaded it up here from Allie Hicks. She's watching in Edmonton. She says, happy CFL Football Friday and weekend, RP show and viewers. Tomorrow, make McMahon more green than red. Go Riders. That's from Allie in Edmonton. My cousin Christine in Medicine Hat. She says, big game for my Riders. That's from Christine. A lot of Sask fans out there in Alberta. From Jeff, the Stampeders fan, he chimes in, watching on Facebook currently. He says, Halloween isn't for another week, but Fright Night for the Saskatchewan Roughriders will come a week early. Rider Nation, welcome to your McMahon nightmare. Well, we're starting to get the trash talking going. Riders and Stampeders Saturday night. Where are we going to watch it, Moose? Right here at Merlis Belsher Place? Yeah, sounds good to me. From Faye Lowther, watching in Truro, Nova Scotia. She says, hi, Rod. Just wanted you to know how proud we are of Brett. You know you are loved and have an awesome show. From Faye Lowther, the mother of Brett Lowther, the kicker of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Is that not just a great CFL thing right there? Thank you, Faye. We love you, too. Everybody's in the spirit of the thing on this Flame Tech Football Friday. From the General in Calgary, he says, I saw Mr. Damon there. I guess the production staff is having malfunctions. Well, I don't know what to say about that. We got all set up here from Saskatoon. My guess is it's a technology thing, internet speed thing at Damon's. I don't know. From the General in Calgary, he says, we own the Riders. Here we go. Did you see, by the way, after Aaron Rodgers said to Chicago Bears fans in Week 6 on Sunday, he goes, I still own you in Chicago. If you go to the Wikipedia page for the Chicago Bears where it says owner, it now has been changed to Aaron Rodgers owns the Chicago Bears. That is a true thing. Kevin Diaco watching in Saskatoon regarding Coach Flory, who was just with us. He says, morning, Scott. How amazing of a moment was it to hit the football field again after everything that's taken place and to see the intensity of the players for the love of the game. I didn't get to that when Coach Flory was with us, but at least I read it here. Trent in Norway is watching. He says, Norway calling. I sense the Riders will have their house in order come Saturday night. Can't wait for the Babcock interview. I enjoyed being the PA announcer for one season with the men's hockey team before music got more of me. Go Huskies. And from the General in Calgary, he says, should have renamed this to Sask Homer Day. So Calgary. We were just there for 2 days. That is so Calgary. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we can't have a U of S show. Come on. From the Calgary viewers. They're upset. What's your up date, Clark? We're going to take a commercial break and come right back with the legend Damon Allan right after this. You are watching the RP show live from Merlis Belsher Arena in Saskatoon on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special.
Holy, it's pretty impressive.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds. Feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Peterson Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Peterson Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Peterson Show.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Peterson.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a Flame Tech Football Friday. We are broadcasting live from the University of Saskatchewan campus, Merlis Belsher Place to be exact. And we have viewers asking about our poll question today. We don't have one yet. So as we roll into our next interview, why don't you write in? You can text us on the Prairie Mobile text line, write in on YouTube or Facebook. What do you think would be a good poll question? Clark and I were kicking it around prior to the show, and we frankly didn't come up with one. So have at her. And speaking of legends, let's bring him in. BetRegal.net, CFL Ambassador, the Hall of Famer, the man himself, Damon Allan, joining us from Toronto. DA, happy Football Friday. How you doing, sir?
Hey, happy Football Friday in the CFL. Really looking forward to it today.
Perfect start, DA. I got to ask you, with Canadian college football on, NCAA football, NFL Week 7, CFL Week 12, what has your attention the most this weekend here in late October?
Well, I mean, what has my attention the most is, today's CFL games. NFL, I'm a quarterback, so I like to look at a variety of different quarterback play, no matter what level of football that you're playing. But I really focus on the quarterback because it is a quarterback-driven league. And so, based on how well your quarterback does, really tells you, what kind of season you'll have as a football team.
Okay. Perfect answer then. So it's McLeod Bethel Thompson. He's on a heck of a roll here. 3 straight games with multiple touchdowns thrown for the Argos versus Matthew Schultz for the Alouettes, who gets the start tonight. Talk about these two guys going head-to-head here tonight, and what do you expect to see?
Well, what I like about it is, Montreal and Toronto are fighting for first place. So tonight's game is very crucial. There's a BetRegal's Legends over and under pick, and the pick was, will Eugene Lewis catch more than, 4.5 catches tonight, or would it be under? And I picked the under due to the fact that It's only Schultz's second game starting. They're playing for first place. The Argos defense is a tough bunch. And I think he's just getting acclimated into the CFL. And so I picked the under on that. But, the fact that he's getting the opportunity, because I wasn't sure, I was surprised about the trade with Trevor Harris going to Montreal. And so I wasn't sure what dynamic that would present. But Schultz is starting his second start in the CFL. And, most likely it'll be a crucial game for him to perform, to see, how long he'll continue with the starting position.
Damon, surprised. I was shocked. And Trevor Harris not even going to start in Montreal, at least as long as Matthew Schultz can continue this hot hand. You're right. Both teams tonight looking for a fourth straight win. It's only going to happen for one of them. We got to talk about BetRegal.net and your role as ambassador. DA, what wanted to have you get involved with BetRegal?
Well, there's a combination of things that really catch my eye. One is they're a Canadian company. Another, they believe in education, and they also believe in charity. And then what really took it over is when they said we're going to invest in the CFL. And I'm a CFL fan. I played in the game. I went to the game to survive. And so the fact that they're the official gaming sponsor of the CFL really made me step forward, because it's a pretty good combination. I spent 23 years in this game, and to represent not only BetRegal but still the CFL in a sense makes it was so easy to come on board, and especially when you have some of your friends that are with you, like the legendary Matt Dunnigan, Bernie Nichols, who should be in the Hall of Fame. When these guys are involved and they believe in the Canadian content, they believe in the Canadian product, we believe in the CFL. And so it was a great fit for BetRegal to come on board and ask us to be their ambassador.
There's no doubt, and we ask all of our viewers to go sign up for the Play Sportsbook for free, the free Play Sportsbook at BetRegal.net. Right. You don't have to wager. Yeah, you don't have to wager any money. Get 1,000 points a month, BetRegal points, and just put your wagers on games. No money involved at all, just to realize how much fun this betting portion is. Anything more on that before I just ask you quickly about the Raiders, DA?
Yeah. No, I think that, the fact that, I do want to say that, part of their charity, they have the community MVP program where anybody can select anybody in their community that do an amazing thing and select them to have the opportunity to, generate a $5,000, not a bonus, but generate a $5,000 gift to be able to give to any of their charity of their choice. And then at the same time, gearing up for Grey Cup, BetRegal during playoffs and the Grey Cup will be plastered all over the CFL during the playoff week. And we'll be down there in Grey Cup week. And so this company's doing a lot of different things. We want to connect with the customer. We want to teach the customer how to play and be a responsible gambler or a bettor. And, I'm learning myself. And so I'm excited about that.
Same here. And we are completely out of time. That's a God shot. We won't talk about the Las Vegas Raiders other than to say after your internship, you got home at a good time, DA. Absolutely. Hey, I did enjoy the football. Exactly. Thanks, Damon. Always good seeing you. Mike Babcock coming up in hour 2, live from Merlis Belsher Place. After this break, you're watching the RP Show, Flame Tech Football Friday on Game Plus Television.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC. Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allan looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at BetRegal.net.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Green. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Green Systems a call today.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
So that's the thing. People wondering where we're going, what we're doing. We had the invitation to come to Calgary and bring the show. Now we've got the invitation to go to Saskatoon, and that's what we'll be doing on Friday on a Flame Tech Football Friday. Mike Babcock will be on Darren's microphone. Scott Flory in hour 2. A couple Huskies sports coaches joining us live from Saskatoon for a Flame Tech Football Friday. It's going to be fantastic.
This is the Rod Peterson Show.
Good day, Canada. Happy Friday, and Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to hour 2 of the Rod Peterson Show. Brought to you by Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. We are live across all 10 provinces on Game Plus television and 31 states, depending on your cable carrier. We're also live on YouTube and Facebook, and, of course, listen live at rodpeterson.com. It's been a rollicking Flame Tech Football Friday, but with all due apologies to the football fans, we're going to switch gears a little bit here in hour 2. If you just joined us, we're live from Merlis Belsher Place, home of the U of S Huskies men's and women's hockey programs. And Mike Babcock's coming up later, too. The head coach of the women's hockey program, Steve Cook's going to join us in moments. Last hour, we had Scott Flory, the football head coach and Canadian Football Hall of Famer. And I just got to say, as we bring in Steve Cook, the coach of the women's hockey team, Coach, they asked us to come up and do our show live because it's a huge Husky sports weekend with the U of R in town. You got your home and homes going on. It's like rivalry weekend. This is special.
Yeah, no, it is special. A lot of reasons. We haven't played in 18 months, right? So I know the girls are jacked for this. I mean, they've grown up playing with and against a lot of these girls on the same team. So I mean, the fact that it's our first regular season game in 2 years and it's against Regina is an added bonus.
Well, I got to ask you, and our viewers had some questions for Scott. There was so many questions come in. I didn't get to all of them. So I'm gonna pitchfork them to you because you're coach of a university program. What's it going to feel like to take to the field for the first time after what you've been through? Are you going to get a little emotional or what?
I've been emotional for the last 18 months. It's been a roller coaster, but no, I mean, we've had 6 real good preseason games, and the last 3 have been like regular season environment for us. We played Regina for the last 2. So this little rivalry has been building up for the last, number of weeks. I told Sarah, the head coach of the Regina Cougars, that, by the end of regular preseason, we're going to end up hating each other. And that'll be good. A little emotion going in game 1 will be good for us.
Okay, so I'm not crazy then, or I might be, but because it seems like you guys have been playing hockey for quite some time. And I know the men's football team have been practicing since the start of August. They didn't get kicked off till the end of September. So how has this thrown your schedule out of whack? How's it been different than what your normal years would have been?
Well, I mean, we had an 8-week training camp, which is probably double what we normally have. But we're so young, it was actually good for us. So, the first 4 weeks, we spent a lot of time working on structure and some of the things that we want to do as a team, because over the last 18 months, they never had a chance to do any sort of team structure. It was all individual skill stuff. So, I mean, from that aspect, we have 13 rookies in our lineup, and it was good to spend that much time going over some of the things that we want to do. So, and then the last 3 weeks for us, we spent a lot on competing, all the little detail type of things. So it's been good for us having a little longer training camp, out of the ordinary, but it's been good.
How many years for you with the Husky women?
Oh, you put me on the spot. I think 13.
Okay, so you had a pretty good handle on what you were doing prior to COVID. Can you speak on behalf of post-secondary coaches in terms of what you guys have been and girls have been through in the last 18 months?
Well, yeah, we thought we knew what we were doing over the last 12 years of my career. But, one thing coming out of COVID is that we learned, there's different ways to do things. And having spent so much individual time with the players on one-on-one basis, we really forgot that, hey, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we really don't spend as much time as we should or could do with the players. And we have to recognize they're 17 years old coming to us at a high school. So, the time that we spent doing individual stuff was really good. I think as a whole, talking to some of the coaches across the conference, we came away with the same sort of feeling that, we really need to spend more time at our level on some of the basic stuff that we hadn't done over the last decade.
Yeah. So the other thing I got to ask you about the attention Mike Babcock has brought to the University of Saskatchewan. I know Babs back to the Spokane days. A lot of my friends know him from the Moose Jaw days and even before that. And the U of S people saying to me this morning, he's still intense. I'm like, oh, he hasn't mellowed in his 60s. What's it like with Babs around here?
Well, I don't get to see Babs as much because we're on the ice at the same time. But, there are some times that Babs will pop his head out and watch a few drills of our practice. And, he's not shy to come into my office and say, hey, do you got a minute, coach? I was watching a drill, and here's some things that we do at our level and some of the nuances. And at first he was a little bit cautious about doing that. But, I mean, as for me, I really appreciate him doing that. And I'll take any time that he has for a chalk talk with me.
Well, what is it like for university coaches? I'm sure every university is different, but I just assumed you guys' offices were all down one hall and you just poked your heads out, but that's not the case.
Well, it is. We're down the hall. I'm literally 50 feet away from Mike, but he's in his room with his staff, and I'm busy getting our staff ready and things like that. So, I mean, it ends up being a full day. We're real fortunate here at Merlis in that, our suite and the men's suite are 2 separate areas, even though we're down the same hallway. So, like Mike says, that it's an NHL setup. It really is down there. So.
Oh, I don't doubt that for a second. And as a matter of fact, I mean, I remember them building this thing. Of course, I was, may or may not know, with the Rough Riders for 20 years. So we had our training up here for decades. And I just saw them building this place, right, literally from the ground up, as did you. And but I never really knew much about Merlis Belsher. So this morning we looked it up, what he's famous for. And it's for being a, great donor, U of S alum, and for being rich. Let's say it the way it is. Merlis. This is unbelievable. Is this the nicest university hockey country?
Well, I'm a little biased, but
there.
I think it is. I've had the fortunate experience of going across country, looking at a lot of facilities. And I think it's up there. I mean, St. FX has a beautiful facility, just being on their campus off the shore. But I mean, the way that they treat our players and the spectators and all the little things that go into how we treat our players, the lounge, the medical facility, the cold tubs, recovery room, the gym right here, having our own video space, all that sort of stuff. It doesn't exist in Canada, any other city.
Yeah, well, I have to give Shannon a big thank you, your AD, for inviting us up here, because what's important to show these facilities off.
Yeah.
You know, as well, recruiting too, right? I mean, what's your time split of coaching versus recruiting?
Well, in a normal year, we're probably recruiting all year long. You know, I'll spend Monday watching recruiting videos and returning emails, and you know, we'll prepare for games Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're usually in a rink somewhere in the province, or watching online some recruiting tapes. So you know, it from the time that we're playing to the time that we're not playing is recruiting season for us.
Yeah, well, you've been coaching this women's hockey for a long time. Please tell the viewers, because I've seen it with my own eyes, how far it's come. Tell them. It is something.
Yeah, no, your niece would be a perfect example of that. So, I mean, it wasn't that far along where, you know, players coming on midget hockey in the female game, you know, they skated real well. They worked real hard. But the skill level that's come out of midget AAA hockey and at that level now is just extraordinary. The amount of time that they dedicate to the things that they do individual and just on the strength. We were talking a little bit earlier off camera here that, you know, your niece benched 135, 3-4 times?
Couple
times, right? That wouldn't happen a few years ago. So, I mean, the strength is way better. The skill is tremendous at this time.
I was going to ask you what it was. So they've put the work in individually.
Yeah.
Time on ice and all the rest.
Time on ice. There's a lot of coaches that are dedicating a lot of their expertise to the female game, which is needed right now. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, the Olympics that happened in Vancouver and also watching, you know, Kendall Coyne at the NHL All-Stars game has spurred a lot of that sort of excitement into the game too.
Yeah, well, for me, I went to what's the AAA fee? Is it not the TELUS Cup? SR Cup.
Yeah.
When it was in Regina, I went and dropped the puck, and I stayed to watch for the opening game, and I was like, wow. Zing, 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 puck handling, everything, man. I was really impressed. Of course, there was the top teams in the country, but and that's the kind of hockey you're watching all the time, right? And what did you think of that World Championship, by the way, game, USA versus Canada? It's a hell of a rivalry.
You know, that's how the game is now. It's fast. It's fast and physical, and we get that sort of reaction from a lot of people that have never seen female hockey before. They'll come out to a game and they'll go, wow, this is a lot faster and a lot more physical than I thought it was going to be.
Well, I don't think they had a whistle for the first 8 minutes of overtime.
Yeah.
Is that typical of women's hockey, or is it just that game?
No, that's probably atypical. But, I mean, that's the type of physical endurance that they need to have, right? So.
Yeah, no kidding. So what is your best recruiting pitch for the University of Saskatchewan women's hockey
You're
program?
sitting in it, Rod. This is us. This is our closer, right?
It's pretty easy, isn't it, when you do that? What was it before this?
Strangely enough, it was still Rutherford as well, too. I mean, there was an atmosphere in old Rutherford that was hard to beat. You walked in and you know whose barn it was instantly. So, I mean, the amenities aren't what they were here, but it was our rink, clearly, and there was a real good atmosphere in there. And if they ever had a chance to watch a game in Rutherford, they got that feeling as well, too.
That was quite a barn, too. Yeah. Well, just tell me, and we're going to go to a break right after this, but this home and home with the U of R, what a way to kick off the season. What are we to expect? What are you expecting out of these games?
Well, we played U of R 3 times in preseason. Every game's been decided by 1 goal or overtime, so I would expect the same.
All right. Well, good luck, and we'll be here for it. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, Rod.
Steve Cook, the head coach of the U of S women's hockey program. When we come back, Mike Babcock will join us, the head coach of the men's hockey program. And we've also got a very special announcement coming up from DirectWest. The CEO, Keith Jeannot, will be with us a little later on, and Jeff Shattler of the Saskatchewan Rush will be part of that announcement. So that's all coming your way here in hour 2. We're broadcasting live from the University of Saskatchewan campus in Saskatoon on Game Plus Television, YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics, Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds. Feel in the air. It's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama. I live for the emotion. No one can take me down. Bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
Laid back and kicking it. Let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the beautiful University of Saskatchewan campus. It is a FlameTech Football Friday. We have taken a little bit of a detour on the football talk in hour 2 for Core Grain, and that's just fine. Scott Flory is with us, and Damon Allan in hour 1. More than making up for that. In moments, we'll be joined by the head coach of the U of S men's hockey program, Mike Babcock. And here's a note to our producers back flying the Millennium Falcon, producer Clark and director Jordan. The Moose is here if you want to put the Moose on camera. But when Babs shows up, we'll take him off camera, slide Babs in. And it's one of those days, Darren, and Bob's your uncle. And I don't know if I was in Florida too long. I don't think it's possible. But holy snikes, is it cold in here.
I know.
Don't stick your tongue to the rail of your chair. Oh, my God.
Oh, it is. That's what's going to happen.
It's a hockey rink. I know. I
was talking to Raul, who's the SID here at the U of S. He's like, I can't be in there for more than 2 minutes now. I'm soft. He's like,
not just me.
It's warm out in the lobby. It's great.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have parked us in the lobby.
Tell Merlis to turn up the heat. That's why we're here, by the way. Huge weekend for U of S athletics. We got the men's hockey tonight home. There he is. There's a coach, the U of R. And women's hockey Saturday night home to the U of R. Rams Huskies Saturday afternoon at Griffiths, and women's soccer Sunday. Yeah. So it's going to be great.
It's going to be full.
Are you calling the football game?
I am not. I'm actually going to just be hanging out watching
with me.
A fan with you.
Okay.
It's going to be great.
Love it. All right. Well, we'll see you in a bit, Moose.
Sounds good.
And we'll bring Babs in here. And the wonderful thing, by the way, is we're good. University of Saskatchewan putting us up at the beautiful Holiday Inn right across from Griffith Stadium here. I could literally watch the football game from our hotel room, which is unbelievable. I'm sure the football coaches don't love the fact that the guests can peer right in on their practice. But anyways, it's been a day or two since we've seen this guy face-to-face. Babs, listen, I'll do it right now. How you doing, Coach?
Great to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you. It's been a day or two, Babs. Hey, it's opening night. How you feeling?
Well, great. Obviously, opening night's always an exciting time. Doesn't matter where you're at.
Yes.
And we've had 10 exhibition games, lots of times to get ready. I mean, the kids miss hockey for 2 years here. Now they're pumped. They want to play, and we should have a good crowd here tonight. We obviously have a beautiful building, as you can see, and it's great to share with people.
Steve Cook was just in here, and he said that you told him that these are NHL caliber facilities. I haven't seen them. I got to get a tour here. What do you got going on?
Well, for sure. Underneath, the building's spectacular here. They built it right because they didn't build it too big for college hockey. But underneath, we have NHL facilities, and I'm not kidding you, we're better than some NHL teams. So between our video theater, our lounge, our dressing room, our areas for trainers, then we have the full medical center right here, the physios. We have the weight room at the far end. You don't get it better than that in college hockey. You just don't.
Better than Joe Louis Arena?
Hard to believe that, eh? you know, obviously now Detroit has a new facility, right. And so it would be the same. But any of those older buildings, even though they've been upgraded, they're still not the same as this. This is spectacular.
All right. Well, I can't wait to have a look around. I can't wait to go to the hockey games. And I got to ask you this. Are you having fun? That's my number one question.
You know, it's been a ride. Number one is my son's working with me. He's taking his MBA and on our staff. So that's exciting anytime you get to work with family. And then, you know, I'm at one sister's house, then I'm at another sister's house, and then there's my sister's grandkids are around, and I got buddies here in town. My wife's family's in Lloyd. So that's an experience we haven't had in forever. I mean, we'd come home in the summer to the lake, but not like this. So that's been fun.
I caught myself right off the start of the show saying, Mike Babcock makes his Canada West debut. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. No.
A couple years ago.
It's been in a while. How long are you at Lethbridge?
8 months.
Oh, that's it, eh?
Yeah, no, I was there 8 months. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I love hunting and fishing, and the Crow's Nest Pass is spectacular.
Good place for
you. You betcha. And then obviously we had a real good team. We had a great run that year. It's unfortunate the Leopards are no longer in the league. Had a great run. And anytime you have success, those guys are with you forever. And so your contact with those people over the years has been spectacular.
Well, just take me through this for a second, because there's those iconic photos of you in the McGill uniform with your shocking blonde hair. Right? And they talk about you as a U of S student. What was your university resume as a player?
Okay, so I was a 17-year-old. I played split with the SASKATOON Jays and the Blades. And as an 18-year-old...
That was the junior A?
You betcha. Junior A and the Blades. And so as a 17-year-old, I did that. And then as an 18-year-old at fall camp, I don't know why I did this. I came to play for the U of S. That made no sense. Probably wasn't smart, but I came and did that. Kinger said, Babs, you better go back and play hockey. So I went back and I had picked up my rights, played in the Western Hockey League, and then went to McGill. And, you know, no different than these guys is McGill deserves a lot of credit for the foundation. You're a student athlete. They build the foundation for you to confidence so you can get on with the rest of your life. 5 of my best friends in the world, the 6 of us have been hanging out together for 40 years, and now the wife's probably 35, so a while. And obviously we've been together a long time. It's a lot of fun, and that's what happens right here at the U of S.
Of course. Did you graduate from McGill then?
I did.
You did? Okay, cool. So here's a made in Canada story that I was telling somebody last night. I'm in a Lululemon at Cross Iron Mills Mall in Calgary yesterday, and the guy behind the counter was talking about my show, and I said, I'm going to have Mike Babcock on tomorrow. The girl working behind him goes, Mike Babcock is a wonderful human being. And I said, well, I think so, but what makes you say that? She goes, my uncle's TD Forrest. He was in Spokane, blah, blah, blah. Like those Spokane friendships go back a real long way.
Well, you just think about it. So I started at Red Deer College. Rob Cookson was on my staff. He coached in Ottawa for the Senators. Annie Nowicki was on my staff. He was the goaltending coach for the LA Kings. Ray Bennett was on my staff. He's with Colorado Avalanche. When you go through it in Spokane, Tim Speltz, the general manager, is the GM for the American League team for Vegas. TD Force has been all over. He's been with the Eskimos, he's been with the Calgary Flames, he's now with the Edmonton Oilers. So those connections you have in your career are spectacular. And obviously, TD Force is one of my best friends in the world and fun guy to be around.
Well, he's a very popular uncle with this young gal anyway, so she said to say hi. Babs, talk to me about the university athlete. Have they changed since you were one?
Oh, I think probably everything, you know, I kind of look at it every 10 years, there's got to be a huge step. I mean, you just keep getting better and better and things faster and faster. And saying all that, though, there's saying a lot of ways. They're student athletes first, without any question. They come, and what I find is they compartmentalize their time. They live in the present. So when they're at school, they're all in. But when they come here, we get them in the weight room, they're all in there. They're all in on the ice. They want to get better. When they go home to their families or whatever they're doing, they're all in there. They're exceptional people, and they're trying to find their passion. It was hockey. They were going to play in the National Hockey League. Doesn't look like they're going to do that now. They're trying to find the next thing. And, the difference between good and great is passion, because when you find your passion, you can work harder and longer than the next guy at it. And so that's what they're doing now.
So when you're going around that room and looking in those eyes, is it the same look as NHL players?
Well, we'll be at game time for sure. And yet, in saying that, it's interesting. You have a meeting with a guy. In the NHL, it's 10 minutes max, when you're talking about their life or whatever. Here, it can be 30 minutes.
Or longer.
It's just, that's just the way it is. What I would say to you, though, is great young men and want to make a difference, are trying to find their way, and still love the game of hockey and are giving a lot to the school.
Probably would be naive of me to think that you just walked in onto the bench and coached. What was your role in? I would think it'd be more than that in terms of recruiting and stuff. Yeah. Leading up to this, what was from the day you were hired to now? What have you been doing?
Well, I think when they let me know, I was doing it right away. I got on it, and so probably started in February. And you're doing everything you can, from phoning to texting to zooming with the guys and trying to get them to come here. Now, no different than any Canada West team. 7 or 8 of the highest profile guys that I recruited are in the American hockey. Are they going to end up here one day? They might. But the guys we were able to recruit and bring in are good players. And Dave Adolph did an unbelievable job here for a long period of time. 27 years he was here. And it's very competitive in Canada West, and you got to get good players. You can coach all you want. You need athletes to coach. And so we were fortunate that way. We worked hard at it. Brandon Cote and myself worked hard at it to try to get the guys to come. We were disappointed. Sometimes we get the call the guy had signed in the American Hockey League, but that's what it's all about. They want to play pro. Take your opportunity when you get it.
But that's how close the level is and how good the hockey is. You want to talk a little bit about the style of game for those that don't know that are watching right now on Game Plus TV. Canadian men's university hockey has always been. What surprised you a little bit?
Well, I just think, obviously, the pace is unbelievable without any question. The game breaker at the NHL level, there's 2 or 3 guys on each team that create space every time they touch the puck. So when a guy touches the unreal skill, everyone backs off and gives him room. There's not that here. You got 1 or 2 guys, but it's really not that. So it becomes tight checking up and down the rink, and you got to grind. It's hard to score. But what I found with our group is we seem to be a resilient group. We stay at it hard. Obviously, it's a big game here tonight. The emotions sometimes get in the way of the home opener. You like to get through it and get on with it. But the reality of the situation, it's good hockey. They play hard. We got good team depth. And we plan on going after the other team here tonight.
I got to ask you a couple questions about, like I was saying to Scott Flory last hour, that these football, youth sports jobs are highly coveted. Hockey are too. I wonder how much your phone rang for assistant coach job, because I know a few that called. So the guys wanted on this staff.
Well, for sure. Obviously, I wasn't involved in the initial part. They had 127 resumes they went through, and then they had a committee here, and they got it down, I think, to a dozen. And then I got involved at 4. And obviously, these jobs, you look at Schultze. Schultze was here 27 years. You don't have to move. Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Plus,
great town.
Look at this facility. Look at the town. You can grow your family here. Brandon Cote was the guy we hired here. He was set up to be the next guy without any question. His wife teaches school in town. His young boys play hockey here in town. He's set up good that way, and he'll do a real nice job.
What's your split of WHL versus Junior A guys? Roughly, I
think we got 3 from Junior A, and the rest are all from the Western Hockey League. And the guys who played in Junior A, Paul was a 100-point guy. Brooke was a 100-point guy. They're dominant players. We got good guys. We had 90-point guys that were captains of the Western Hockey League team. And I think we got 12 captains of the Western Hockey League team. You got a good hockey team here for sure. The skill guy who was going to go in the first round is playing in the National Hockey League. We don't have those guys, obviously.
Yeah. Well, hang on. I can't wait to watch this. Chance is here?
He is.
Did you coach his dad?
I did. No,
How about that?
It was a great conversation.
Yeah.
I talked to his mom. His mom was spectacular. She probably wouldn't want me saying this, but she said, my boy's a good boy. You make sure you hug him. He's better if you hug him than if you yell at him. So anyway, obviously his dad played for me, I think when he was 16 or 17. I had a great conversation with his dad. You've got to know a lot of the parents here as they come to games and that, and they follow their kids around. And it's amazing as a hockey parent, and I know I did the same thing with my kids, is it's spectacular to watch him play. I was at a football game with my brother-in-law the other day. I had to move over. His kid was playing. He's so anxious and so uptight. You're trying so hard for your kid. But that's what love's all about right there.
Of course. Chance was the talk of the yesterday. The hair that he went on, and he could have played in the Western Hockey League. And his uncle's Curtis Hunt. Wow. Must be nice to be back and get those connections again.
Well, what's so amazing is everywhere I go is so many people. And right away when you see them, you're thinking, okay, I know who this is, but what's their name? It's been a long time.
Yeah, because they all know you. Yeah.
Exactly. I play alumni hockey with the guys here on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock, and that's spectacular too. These guys have been involved in this program a long time. They love the program. Financially, they're giving back to the program, and their sweat and that to make it happen is so important for the program to have success. They've done a great job of that.
What do you know about your opponents, the U of R Cougars? Did you play them as much as the women's teams have played? Do you know what you're playing tonight?
Yeah, we know who we're playing. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I know Todd Johnson. I've known for a long time, coached him. And so the coach I know well. I don't know the team as well. I'm going to get to know the team better as the year goes on. We played them in exhibition. I don't think exhibition's ever a measure just because you're trying out guys, you're trying out lineups, so it's not the same kind of thing, but it's a positive thing.
Do you mind if I get to some viewer questions here before I let you go?
Whatever you got here.
One from me or a media question was how you enjoyed the NHL and NBC thing. You looked right at home on the panel. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. When I was there, I really enjoyed it. Getting there sometimes, you're in New York, you come from Palm Springs, you come from wherever you're coming from. That's not the same thing, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the guys I worked with, Jonesy and Sharpie and the guys there. I thought that was really good. Enjoyed that part. Is it something I see myself doing? Not really.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I just I got a pretty full life, to be honest with you. Since I've been fired in the National Hockey League, my wife and I have had a great time. And we're fortunate we can do what we want to do, and we've done that, and we've enjoyed our family a lot, so it's been fun.
It's funny you say that because Wayne in Victoria, BC is watching. He says, does Mike find the stress a little less in university hockey compared to the NHL?
You know what? Stress is an interesting thing. People talk to me about it all the time. I like duress. And what I mean by that is a little duress gets you up in the morning, gets you going. In the end, the pressure, the stress is what you put on yourself. Once you're established in the league and you know you're going to work and you can pay your bills, it's what you do. It's just your job. It's what you do, and you enjoy doing it.
Yeah, I should ask you this about that NHL and NBC thing, because you did look very at home. You were talking hockey and you've been in front of a camera enough, but what surprised you about that job? Working in the media?
Well, I guess what I would say to you is when you're in hockey every day and you're breaking it down and you're detailed in it, you don't have the time to share that with the fan. They don't really want you to do that.
Right.
So it's a cover. It's not in depth. I like the in-depth stuff. I'd like to teach the fan what's going on in the game, even though they think they know, they're not really in it. And so that's the part that if I was doing that, I'd want to do.
Do you see a huge difference between U.S. hockey fans and Canadian hockey?
Well, it depends where you are. I mean, Detroit, Michigan, or Minnesota, I mean, it's just little parts of Canada, to be honest with you. That's how passionate they are. Different areas are passionate about different sports, and the ones they know the best, they're the most passionate about. But obviously, you go to Toronto, you go to Montreal, there's hockey fans. You go to Edmonton, you go to Calgary, there's huge hockey fans. Vancouver, they support their team. They know everything about it. That's what the media's covered. In the U.S., that team might be third on the media docket.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Diaco in Saskatoon says, welcome back to Saskatoon, Mike. What has surprised you the most coming back to the university level?
Well, I mean, just coming back to Saskatoon right away, you realize what a great city is, unbelievable people. Well, when you come to the U of S, you just see how passionate the people are about the U of S. When you see the alumni, when you see the players, they're proud to be a part of it. When you see this rink, you're proud to be a part of it. I think it's been special. And like I said to you before, when you have the opportunity to work with your son, my son's 26 years old. He's already graduated from university. He's played pro overseas. He's done his thing. He's trying to figure out where to go. That's fun because he's an adult. He gets a say. I think that's impressive.
From Alex Dick, he says, anytime you get Babcock on, I'm tuning in and probably rewatching once or twice. That's from Alex from the Puck and Pigskin podcast in Calgary. They say, I heard on the radio yesterday that the new arena in Detroit is the best in the league. I haven't seen it. Is it?
Well, it's good. I mean, obviously, the Illich family there, they've done an unbelievable job. You know, and Stevie's gone there after Kenny Holland, who did an unreal job for all those years. Now Stevie, they're going to build their product out so it'll match their arena, but they got a spectacular facility.
Kevin says, Mike, how many games or weeks does it truly take to recognize chemistry amongst players that you may see as the season goes on? It's an interesting question.
Yeah, I think it's a good question, too, is I would say, you know, I always thought in the NHL 10, but you don't have 10 games. You know, you have an 8-game exhibition schedule where you play the guys half the time. Then 10 games in, you kind of got things figured out. Here, we got to do it quicker because we have less games. In saying that, like I said to you earlier, exhibition doesn't tell me the same thing tonight will tell me.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, here's my last one for you. I've been dying to ask you this. That 2017 East Final, Saskatchewan Roughriders at Toronto Argonauts, you were there. Place was sold out. It was big news that you were there. If you remember, it went down to the last play of the game for us to go to the Grey Cup. Was it like dumb question to say, will the CFL survive in Toronto? Because you may or may not care. But that was a great take.
Oh, I care. I mean, when I grew up, Saskatchewan Roughriders were a big deal. When we were at the lake at Emma Lake, when we didn't have TV, my kids were over at the neighbors watching the Riders games. The best time to be on the lake at Emma Lake is when a Riders game's going on. There's no one out there. They're watching the Riders. So that's how much excitement it is. So it's a great, obviously, football spectacular. We need a pro league in Canada. The CFL is a lot of fun to be around. When you get a chance to go, it's special. When the guys brought in the Grey Cup to my office just to show it off to me there, that was fun too.
Yeah, no kidding. It's a wonderful thing. Mike, as always, thanks for all you do for us. When you were on the last time with us, I didn't realize it was the first interview since you'd left Toronto. So I appreciate you doing that. Yeah. All you've done for us. Good luck with the Huskies.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right, we're live from Merlis Belsher Place in Saskatoon, U of S campus. We'll be right back. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Hey, Dawn.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Peterson Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Peterson Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Peterson Show.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Peterson Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's one of the busiest shows we've ever done, and it's turning into one of the greatest shows we've ever done. We're live from the University of Saskatchewan campus, Merlis Belsher Place, home of the men's and women's hockey programs. We're going to switch gears a little bit. DirectWest is one of our longest-time partners, as are the Saskatchewan Rush. And in a moment, you're going to hear from reps from both of them, Keith Jeannot from DirectWest and Jeff Shattler, our favorite member of the Saskatchewan Rush, one ornery guy. We'll see if he is today or not, but this is exciting. DirectWest has produced a video to improve brand awareness and highlight its community involvement and sponsorships, featuring Jeff Shattler, the guy we were just talking about, a Regina resident, top player on the Rush. This video features footage of Jeff's kids' lacrosse school, along with him describing the school and the important role DirectWest plays in contributing to local sports and community events. So before we bring in those guys, let's roll the video from back home.
I started the Shattler Lacrosse Academy 3 years ago, and my main goal for the province of Saskatchewan was to spread the game and the awareness of lacrosse. Jeff Shattler here, number 77 with the Saskatchewan Rush. I currently play forward, 16 years pro. I live, work, and play in the province of Saskatchewan. DirectWest's mission is to grow Saskatchewan economy by helping small local businesses win with digital advertising services, but they are also a major supporter of local sport, art, and charitable organizations. Year after year, DirectWest continues to put their money where their mouth is, and ensuring the minor sports and art and music festivals can continue to thrive in our province. They continue to do all they can to promote our communities and assist nonprofit charitable organizations in the effort to improve the quality of life in the province of Saskatchewan. I am proud to work with DirectWest and call the province of Saskatchewan my home.
Well, we're extremely proud to have Jeff as well. And you see, he's in our studio back home. Keith Jeannot joins us on video chat, the CEO of DirectWest. And Keith, if you don't mind, I'd like to start with you with a wonderful partnership here between the Rush and DirectWest and working with this guy. This is an exciting launch, man. How's it feel?
Oh, really good. I mean, there's such a natural fit here that I think, as you and I have talked about in the past, Rod, you know, DirectWest works with small business around the province. We try to give back through the community through a lot of charitable efforts, but in particular, we've chosen sports. And of course, that's how we got linked up with your show. And it's why we're part of the Rush's sponsorship group. But more importantly, we work with local. And when we heard about Jeff and what he's doing with his school and how he chose to stay in Saskatchewan and put time back into the kids' lacrosse, it was just such a natural fit to try and pair all three, I guess, together and complete the circle that, you know, we reached out and said, what would it take to get this going? And hopefully the video shows the power of what he's doing, but also the link on how this just totally fits with our brand and what we're doing.
Well, I just want to say bravo, and if we can bring Jeff in. Jeff, good to see you. Again, it's weird that I'm in Saskatoon and you're there. I've been thinking about you a lot through the pandemic. The Rush weren't playing. You're running the academy. You got a young family. How glad are you to have this partnership together and be ready to hit the floor here before long with the Rush this year?
Oh man, it feels like a lifetime. You know, we were just watching some highlights from a game about 2 years ago, and we thought this was only going to last 2 weeks, and now we're sitting, just over 2 years, and we're finally getting back at it. You know, training camp's in 3 weeks. I'm pumped to get back out there. I don't know if I still got it, but I'm sure going to try. These young kids out here, they keep me going, and I see a lot of talent in this province, and our next step is just to keep these kids going throughout the year and see what they can accomplish, whether it's school or within the province of Saskatchewan.
Well, it's interesting, by the way. I see the video with you coaching with the mask on. You just started your academy before the pandemic, but I knew that with these groups and stuff that you were able to get back onto the floor and bring these kids together, and you're traveling around the province. So my question for you is, how did that go? And B, are we going to have some pro lacrosse kids coming out of this province in the years ahead?
There was a lot of roadblocks leading up throughout the pandemic, obviously with everybody, whether it was work or sports but we were allowed 10 athletes at a time as long as we did abided by the guidelines of the province of Saskatchewan health of Canada and all that good stuff. But it was tough. It wasn't easy, right? And there's a lot of parents that really bought into the program, and we kept it going, and it showed when provincials came. A lot of our kids in the South, they were winning MVPs, winning championships. They were getting noticed. So we just tried to keep these kids going. It's getting a little bit easier now, thank God. I'm hoping that it starts opening up. I know we all are, and we want to just get back to normal and start playing some lax.
Yeah, well, I'm going to sound like a Rider fan here, but you said you sound nervous about making the Rush this year. If you don't, I'm burning my season tickets because you're my favorite player, and I got a Shattler jersey. So to bring Keith back in here. So, Keith, you know Jeff's story, but now all of our viewers do. Is he not the quintessential Saskatchewan small to medium-sized business that DirectWest wants to help out?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is just such a, like I said, a natural fit. He's about local, we're about local, and, if we can help him with his camp, get some more interest, even more yet, and keep driving kids into lacrosse. I think you've seen a huge growth in this sport, in particular, since the Rush came to Saskatchewan. And, I've got 2 boys that participated myself. Like, this is a huge sport that keeps growing. If we help the sport grow, terrific. If it's through Jeff's academy, that's even better. And as we get, more growth through there. And, and I think it's worth noting, too, the work Jeff does with the Indigenous communities in this province, too. That's a nice fit for us as well, because that's a group that we are trying to be supportive of as well. So, we're, as I said, this just lines up all the dots. The Rush brings us huge market audience, and then Jeff brings us into the mom and pop audience and the folks that put their kids in these sports, just as we do with other sports, as you well know, with hockey and soccer and so forth. So we couldn't be happier, and be having such a, what I would call well-spoken and reputable person in Jeff represent this is just perfect for us in what we're trying to do here.
He is a wonderful guy. And by the way, plug for the Rush here. I just got my notification that the deadline for early bird season ticket pricing is at hand. Keith, just a word on DirectWest, if you don't mind. This is a critical time for Saskatchewan businesses, and DirectWest can help them out. What's our parting words on that?
Sure. I mean, right now, I would say we're starting to see some recovery within the business community. There's certainly some businesses that are hurt and didn't make it. But for those that are still there, we've really been helping them get online with digital products and services, getting their businesses converted over to a digital presence as much as we can, whether it be through their ordering processes or promotion, trying to reach their consumers in new ways. As there's way more foot traffic than there was, but there's still a little bit of help that's needed. And same message I give all the time when we get together, Rod, is we ask the consumers of this province to support them. These are the people that employ our staff, that bring us, the good fabric that we have, that make the good life we have here in this province, which is why we support local. And all I can ask is that when we're making buying choices, do the same, please.
No doubt. Jeff, I can't let you go without asking you. When you come back with the Rush, new owners, new coach, we'll have some new faces. What should we look forward to the Saskatchewan Rush this year?
Oh man, I'm so excited to get back out on that floor. I know a lot of the boys. We got our team chat, and everyone's just getting fired up. We're just excited to get back and playing the game that we love. Traveling with the boys, and then meeting up at the rink beforehand and hearing the crowd roar. Like Rod, you were saying before, season tickets are on sale now, so please go out there, support the homeboys, the home team. We are looking to take another run at the championship. We always think that we're going to win every year, like any other team. If you don't, you shouldn't be out there. So I think we got a good squad. I'm very, very excited to get back out there and to see what we got. I know there's going to be a lot of new faces, but a lot of talent, a lot of young talent. So it's going to be an exciting year, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Guys, great to see you. Thanks for coming on for the announcements today. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too, Rod. Thanks.
You too, Rod. Cheers.
Hey, Jeff.
Jeff Shattler of the Saskatchewan Rush and Keith Jeannot of DirectWest. Yes, a relation of Nashville Predators forward Tanner Jeannot. Moose will join us for overtime right after this. We're coming to you live from Merlis Belsher Place in Saskatoon. Big Husky sports weekend at hand, and we're pleased that they invited us up here for it. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
The studio is a roving studio again, as it's been for most of the week. We're at the University of Saskatchewan campus, Merlis Belsher Place to be exact. Big Husky sports weekend. Men's hockey tonight. U of R Regina Cougars here. But the what do I keep saying? Bisons. Rams Huskies Saturday afternoon at Griffith Stadium. Women's hockey here tomorrow night, and women's soccer Sunday afternoon. Right, Shannon?
That's it. Yeah.
Yes. We have the Chief Athletics Officer of the University of Saskatchewan, Shannon Chin, here, a girl with a vast sports management resume, which we'll get into it in a little bit. But I'm just feeling the vibe of opening weekend here for hockey. This is wild.
Yeah, we're super excited. We're over 1,500 cool. Tickets sold already. And, we want to sell the place out tonight for Coach Babcock's first game.
Wow. So we're about, 500 tickets away?
Yeah, we got a few standing room after that, too.
Yeah.
But if we can get over 2,000 tonight, that's going to be a great night, especially with everything shut down until now. Come on out.
I'm trying to remember the timeline here. Were you on the scene with the U of S before Mike Babcock or just after?
Just after.
Okay. It was right around the same time, right?
I'm only 4 months in, Roddy.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
sometimes it feels
4 months.
Sometimes it feels like 40 years. But
I don't doubt that for a second. Well, listen, let's pack the barn for Mike Babcock.
Yes.
First game as the Huskies men's hockey coach. What's that done for the profile of the university?
Oh, I mean, you can't beat it. And just listening to him on your show previously, he's such a great ambassador for us. He's a great spokesperson. And he knows the vibe here. He knows the importance of the student athlete, but he also knows the things like the quality of our facility that's going to help get us better athletes here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wanted to tell the viewers, because your resume is vast, as I said, just tell them your background if you don't mind. It's pretty impressive.
Oh, thank you. Over almost 10 years in the CFL between the Ottawa Renegades and the Saskatchewan Roughriders, worked with the Ottawa Senators. I've worked at TSN, worked at a couple of sports marketing agencies on big NHL Canadian Tire projects, NHL outdoor games, continued all the way through to working with big events. So happy to be here. Happy to be back home.
Yeah, but listen, you're working in the academic world. They probably, you get asked often probably your academic credentials, which you're as good as any. Tell them about that.
Yeah, no, I played basketball at the University of Ottawa after I left. I grew up in Regina, but played basketball there and then did postgraduate studies at Algonquin College there in sport management as well.
Mm-hmm. So in the COVID environment, it's odd. Darren and I know that you follow the show. We talked a lot about the fact the sports are all playing now, but it's not back to normal.
No.
Will we ever be?
Well, yeah, I mean, even just look at there was a U Sports hockey game canceled this weekend, right?
Right.
So we're living day to day right now. We're monitoring our athletes. We're keeping them as safe as possible. We're doing all the things that we can, but it's a crazy pandemic right now. So as preventative as you can be, we're always ready to be nimble and quick and make adjustments too.
Well, and speaking of that, as Chief Athletic Officer, because that's a new role, I guess, that I've ever heard in university sports. What's that encompass?
It's very similar to being an athletic director, but what the University of Saskatchewan has done is they've elevated that role to sit at senior leadership tables. So that gives us a really big advantage with Husky athletics, because that lets me, I meet monthly with our president, right? So we keep Husky athletics front and center with him. And then I sit at the senior leadership forum table as well. So Husky athletics gets brought into all of those conversations that are typically have a lot more to do with academia, but we're at the table and it's a big part of the university here.
So you're meeting with the president, yet you're telling the Zamboni driver to lay off for a second. You're doing highest level, lowest level, whatever. Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, that's my background, right? Our first football game, helping the girls set up the inflatable. That's what we did.
Yeah.
Right? That's football for me. It's on the boots. We're a small staff here, all hands on deck.
Yeah.
And that's sort of always been, that's been pro sports for me, whether it was CFL or NHL. Everybody contributes. That's what sports is.
Right. So are you kind of are you having to oversee the testing COVID-wise too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank goodness one of my associate directors is really leading our COVID test, and she has been the whole year before I got here, doing a phenomenal job. So I'm leaning a lot on her for that for sure. But yeah, we're in it.
And what's it going to take to fill these facilities moving forward? We're talking about hockey here tonight, but tomorrow Griffith Stadium, again, Rams Huskies. It's the biggest game of the year. It's the 11th time in history that the two teams have met while nationally ranked. That's a big deal.
Yes.
What do we expect here? Just 100 yards away from where we're at right now. What's the atmosphere going to be like?
Oh, it's going to be amazing. And I already told Coach Flory I'm trying to hold the rain off for him. So that will help.
Is that in the forecast?
It's coming and going. So I'm working on keeping it on the out. But, this is exactly what we're doing right here. This is what we need to do to keep on filling this barn, filling their stadiums. Our women's soccer team's playing U of R this weekend. There's first place on the line this weekend going into playoffs for them. So we just got to keep telling stories, and not only just about what they're doing on the playing surface, but what they're doing off. We've got so many athletes in the community doing phenomenal things. We got to keep telling those stories too.
I was actually going to ask you for your best pitch for university sports, but I think you just gave it. Would I be right?
Oh, these student athletes are unbelievable. I've spent a lot of my career on the extrinsic, on like making sure that we're doing the right things for the fans and making sure we're doing all that. Now, my number one focus is making sure these student athletes are successful while they're here, have a wonderful time while they're here, a phenomenal experience, and we're helping them with what they're going to do next.
Well, you were the absolute perfect person for the role. Shannon, thanks for the invite. I can't wait for the game.
Thank you.
Shannon Chin from the University of Saskatchewan joining us here as we wrap it up. And before we go, I'm just going to throw in a quick sports update. Here's what you need to know for tonight. The Maple Leafs host the red-hot San Jose Sharks at Scotiabank Arena tonight. Sharks unbeaten. The Leafs 2-1-1 going into the year, or into the game tonight. Zach Hyman scored shorthanded and on the power play as the Oilers topped the Coyotes 5-1 last night in the desert. Connor McDavid had a pair of goals, including his 200th. Oilers back in action tonight against the Golden Knights in Las Vegas. The Raptors begin their first road trip of the season tonight in Boston. Raps dropped the season opener to the Wizards on Wednesday. Celtics 1-0 after beating the Knicks in double overtime last night. Dodgers still alive in the NLCS. They snapped out of their hitting funk and got outstanding performance from 6 relievers last night. And Chris Taylor slammed 3 home runs and drove in 6 as the Dodgers clobbered the Braves 11-2 in Game 5, sending the series back to Atlanta. The ALCS rolls tonight with Houston looking to move on. They can punch their ticket to the World Series with a win at home over the Boston Red Sox. 6:08 Mountain first pitch. And we'll wrap up this Flame Tech Football Friday by telling you Week 12 in the CFL kicked off tonight. Argos at Alouettes, 7:30 Eastern on TSN. Thanks to the U of S. Thanks to Bab, Steve Cook, Jeff Shattler, Keith Jeannot, and Shannon. We'll see you Monday here on Game Plus TV. We don't know what we're doing.